Hello and welcome to another Smelly Cat video. This is just going to be a quick overview video to show you a project that I've had going for quite a while now. I'm finally just about finishing it today. It has been quite a long project, but it is Halloween related and I do love horror characters, so I took this job on. I was asked to make a custom front door knocker Friday the 13th because their house number is 13, so I thought that's quite an interesting project. I'm interested in taking that on. So let's start at the beginning, show you where it all started. So the first stage of this door knocker process was I had to come up with some sort of idea which I decided was going to be the Camp Crystal Lake sign from Friday the 13th with the mask underneath it, and then mask would become the door knocker. So first off, what I'd done was just messed about on the 3D printing and used the FDM 3D printer to 3D print a little Jason mask just to double check the size, because obviously I had size restrictions to work with here. I had to try and make it fit roughly to the same sort of size as the existing door knocker that was on there. So this was the first little mask I printed off in FDM out of PLA. I was happy with that. It seemed a good size. I think it's come out really nice actually. I'm thinking of turning these into, maybe shrink it a bit more and turn them into key rings. After the PLA, what I then decided to do was went over to the resin printer and I printed one of these masks in resin, and I printed the sign in resin. You will have seen this a bit in my last video, which was the mold making video, because this was part of it, part of the process. So there was them. Just a quick rundown in case you've already seen that video. I then made molds, big chunky silicone molds. So I made these silicone molds from the resin prints, and they then went across to these. So these have been cast out of those molds. These are epoxy resin. Got a slight yellow mica powder in this one, and there was a slight white mica powder in this one. And then I've come back over the top of them and painted them with, I've actually painted them with acrylic paint, and then I've gone over the top of the acrylic paint to seal it with clear resin, just some clear resin. So where we've got to is, as you can see, I put this up on my CNC machine and I CNC'd out a pocket. I found these fairly heavy duty stainless steel hinges on eBay, and I machined out a pocket that this hinge would then fit into, drilled through for two fixing bolts. And what I've done, you won't see any of this because there's a plate going over it. I recessed and fixed in these nuts in the back there, which is what it's going to bolt onto. And also I counterbored and fitted these two bolts in, which are going to go through the door and what's going to hold it to the door. These are all held in with some 2-part aldite glue. That's strong stuff. But then what I thought I'd do is to strengthen the whole thing up, stop the bolt, try and stop any chance of the bolts pulling out, and also to protect the door. Yesterday, with the angle grinder, I made this stainless steel backing plate. So I just drew round this on a piece of stainless steel, drilled the holes, and then I used an angle grinder to shape it and make that. So that slides onto the back there. That now covers up the whole thing. This will go against the door. As you can see, it matches pretty much the this is going to get aldited to the back. And then I needed something, this is where I was for it to knock against. Obviously you don't want to be hitting against the door because you'll damage the door. So I decided what I'd do is if I ran the stainless steel plate down underneath the mask, the bolt, which is going to be what knocks it, can hit against the stainless steel, protecting the door, and will also give you knocking sound. So this is where it's at. It's pretty much there now. I just need to bolt the mask onto the backing plate and glue it all up, and then I'll come back to show you it working in a second. Just come back to show you. This is now attached. It's got 2 bolts that hold it in under there, but it's also strengthened with the araldite. I don't want to rely just on the 2 bolts, because since there's a door knocker, it could take a bit of abuse. So 2 bolts, araldite, some araldites on the bolts to stop them loosening in as well. And then what I've had to do is Dremel off the backs of the bolts flush with the back, which is where I'll now mix up some more araldite, and this plate is going to mount on the back here. So now that plate's going to mount on the back. I'll also stick some araldite. I drilled and tapped this M6 hole in here, so as you can see, you can unscrew that. That's just screwed in, but what I'll do is I'll put some araldite glue in there to hold the bolt in place, make sure it doesn't come loose, and then door knocker. That's it, flush against the door. Should make a loud enough knock. So I'll just glue that back on, and then that should be pretty much it. So there it is, all done. Got some nuts and washers on the back there for the to go on the inside of the front door. They can just place them on once they put it on. That's now, the back plate's now glued to it with the 2-part epoxy araldite, and hopefully that'll be to stand up to some abuse with people knocking it. Nice little custom door knocker. So let me know what you think. I'd like to do some more sort of custom jobs like this, projects. It's been a good learning curve. It's taught me a lot. I've had to put some real thought into it, which is always what I like. I love learning. So hope you like it. For all you horror fans out there, there's more pictures of this as the process went on my Instagram page. Please like, follow and subscribe. Instagram or Facebook page. And see you again in the next video.